can be done in as little as 30 to 45 days. Hey you guys, this is Kendra with KloseWithKG. Today we are going to talk about timelines. As a buyer, how long can you expect your real estate transaction to take? To make this a little bit easier to understand, I'm going to break down parts of the transaction into buckets, and then we'll talk about each of them in more detail. Here are the 3 buckets. First is home search. Your home search can take from a few days to months. Second is offer negotiation. This can take between 1 to 2 weeks. And last but not least is escrow. Escrow can take anywhere from 14 days all the way to 60 days or even more. Let's jump into the first bucket. First bucket is your home search. Now this, like I said, can take anywhere from a few days all the way to months. And it depends on a few things. One is you as the client. Side note here, take a look at my home buyer checklist video, and that will give you a full checklist of things that you as a buyer will want to take care of before you get to your real estate transaction itself. Then that will make things go so much more smoothly. Make sure to watch that video and take care of those things before starting your transaction. I'll give you one for free right now. This is probably one of the most impactful things in making sure your search goes smoothly, and that is putting together your must-have, your wish list for your new home. I want to spend a little bit of time on this because a lot of time can actually be wasted on this part of the transaction. It's really important to understand the area that you're searching in, what types of homes and features are available in that area. Also, as that relates to your buying power and what you can afford in a home. As your agent, I can help you with these things. I can send you reports of pricing trends and market trends that are going on in the area so that you can understand what you can expect to find in your geographic area and in a home. Also, it will help you understand where your buying power fits into that market, so you can understand when you're creating your list what kind of things you can afford in your geographic area, and that will result in creating a very realistic list of must-haves so that when we go out to look for your perfect home, we know what we're getting into and we're able to find your home quickly. The other deciding factor here is the market too. Sometimes the search part of your transaction can take longer just because the market doesn't have what you're looking for at the time. That's also a consideration. The second bucket is offer negotiation. So this is after we found your perfect home. We are ready to put in your offer and start negotiating the different terms with the seller and their listing agent. This part of the process can take about a week, 2 weeks probably at the most, and it really just depends on the terms that we're negotiating, how quickly we can come to an agreement, the responsiveness on both sides of the transaction. All dictates how quickly we can get to an agreement and get a signed purchase contract. Our third bucket is escrow. We found your home, we put it in offer, we negotiated the terms, we got a signed purchase contract, and now we are in escrow. Escrow can take anywhere from 14 days all the way up to 60 days to complete, and that depends on a few different things. One is the type of financing that you are using. If you are a cash buyer with the money in the bank, ready to go, you have no contingencies, you can close or you can get through escrow in as quickly as 14 days. Now it takes a little bit longer if you are purchasing your home with a mortgage, and it also depends on the type of mortgage. Another side note here, watch my video that also outlines the different types of mortgages that you can use in buying your home to understand what those types of mortgages are and possibly which one can fit your needs the best. But for example, if you are an FHA 203K buyer, meaning you are using an FHA rehab loan, those types of loans take a lot more due diligence and inspections during escrow, so they can take up to 45 to 60 days to close. That's super important to know going into your transaction as you determine your timeline. Along with that are the contingencies that are included in your purchase contract. Like I said, if you're a cash buyer, you may have no contingencies. You may be ready to go, send the money, and we're good. If you have contingencies included in your purchase contract, each of those will have their own timeline associated with them. The three main contingencies in the purchase contract are inspection contingency, loan contingency, and appraisal contingency. So like I said, each of those will have their own timeline or time frame attached to them as outlined in the purchase contract. And that's it. Once we close escrow, we record that deed, fund the purchase, and you are ready to get your keys. So let's look at an example here. Let's say we started your buying process on November 1st. You've done all of those things from the buyer checklist. You are ready to go. You know what you're looking for. You know your geographic area. We start your search on November 1st. Let's say it takes you a week to find that home. We do a few showings. We see a few different things. You find that home you want to purchase in a week. So now we're at November 7th. Let's say our offer negotiations we'll round it up to a week. We go back and forth with the seller a little bit, end up at a good spot, and we get a signed purchase contract a week later. That puts us at November 14th, right? Let's say in this situation also that you are a conventional buyer. So you have a conventional mortgage that you are using to purchase this home. Time frame for escrow is 30 days. That puts us at closing. I'll give it a few extra days just because anything can happen. Let's say 35 days. That puts us right at December 20th for a close date. So you could start your process November 1st and be closed and ready to move into your new home, be in your new home by Christmas. 1.5 to 2 months could be your entire buying process, in and out. The most important thing is that you do your due diligence before starting your process. Again, looking at that video that I have about the buyer checklist, so that when you start your process, all of your ducks are in a row. You are ready to go. You know what to expect. You have someone like myself, an agent that is on your side, educating you and walking you through the process so that you can be done in as little as 30 to 45 days. Now, if you have any questions on anything that I've talked about or anything as it relates to your situation, feel free to shoot me a DM, give me a call, or email, however you prefer to communicate, and let's talk through it. Let's see how we can start your buying process today. Like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Thanks, guys.